Hi friends, welcome back to the channel Legal Par. As we discussed, we are taking these efforts to understand the disputes between the allottees and promoters and reduce the rising number of cases that are filed before the honorable authority. So we made a video the last time and there was an interesting question that was asked by one of the viewer, and the question was, why does the promoter lay such a trap where the allottee is trapped and eventually ends up into the dispute and financial losses, mental agony and other damages? So before we could answer this question, there was a spontaneous question that was raised to our mind, and we were surprised to understand that does really promoter plan the trap from day one? Because ideally, if we look at the size of the project and the efforts that are taken behind planning a project, the promoter usually doesn't have a time. I mean the promoter in the sense the person who is actually investing such a huge amount doesn't have a time to plan a trap. So how does this happen then? Definitely there are traps. People, the allottees get trapped and then end up into disputes. We don't deny this. But is it planned is the question. And if it is planned, then who does it plan and why does he plan? So the answer that we got is very surprising, but even I was convinced with the answer. The the traps are usually laid by the agencies of the promoter. Now, who are the agencies of the promoter? The first agency and the important agency of the promoter is the marketing team. How does the marketing team lay a trap? Their marketing strategies and their demands. Before the allottee demands anything, there are various demands raised by the marketing team. First is how the plan should be, what the size should be, and so on. And now in today's market, we have specialized marketing agencies under the heading or the caption of channel partner or sole selling agent, such so on. So they usually give inputs of the industry, and promoter innocently thinks that they are the experts of the industry and we have to cater their needs and their demands. And then the first demand comes from the marketing or the so-called agency is the date of delivery should not be late, else we will not be able to bring in customers for you. So that is the first trap knowingly, unknowingly builder gets into, and then he owns that trap. So on. There are various other informations like showing the carpet area. When there is specifically mentioned that what type of area has to be shown, now definitely with the new website it is very precise, but in the earlier website the area was mentioned manually, and that manual area what was mentioned could have been changed multiple times. Even in a day you could have changed it 10 times. So this important information was also sometimes, again because of the marketing agency's demand, was you can say displayed wrong or mentioned wrong or mentioned in such a convenient manner that you will see some differences between the definition of carpet area as per the act and the actual carpet area displayed by the promoter. So this was the second trap. So on. Later, there are things wherein we found that it is not the allotee who alone gets trapped into such traps of this industry. It is first the promoter who himself gets trapped into the marketing agency, and then eventually he calls in the allottees to get trapped with him, and then it is a win-win situation. Means both are trying to win and come out of that trap, and then further traps are laid. So the question is answered that traps are not planned. They are a subsequent result of planning with unprofessional and over expecting agencies, or the agencies who are least bothered about the consequences of their demand. So this is my answer to whether the traps are laid by the promoters, and if yes, why does the promoter lay a trap? Later on traps, and once man gets benefit out of anything wrong done due to ignorance or by mistake, and if that is not punished, or that doesn't have a cost, or that on the contrary that gives benefit, then definitely that particular person, even if it be I or you will get habitual, and this habit is later on too much expensive to the promoter. And hence we have seen that there are various brands who once upon a time ruled the market, but today they are nowhere for some reasons. So it is not only the allotee who gets into a trap, the builder also gets into a trap, and the traps laid for the builder are very huge. Definitely that is as per his size. Usually the builder gets trapped into the traps laid by the landowners, traps laid by the agencies, traps laid by the unknowingly by the demands of the agencies, so on. So this industry is completely full of traps if you don't understand the information neatly, don't read the information neatly, and you have to take assistance of a known person. May it be the one who actually booked a home earlier. Now, buying one home cannot be an experience. So definitely if you have your advisors, lawyers, you can definitely take help of them. If you can read the information in person, then definitely you can read it on your own. But don't get carried away by the advertisement of the promoters, because there are various ads. Now basically if any of the promoter, if he says that he is number one promoter of Maharashtra, number one promoter of India, and so on, is there any platform where you can verify this statement of the promoter? No, there is no platform, because this is a self-declared statement, and still we get into that trap. Now, other things what are being laid as a trap through a advertisement, that is the promoter's commitment to give something free, promoter's commitment to give certain amount of discount. Is it true? Where is the standard rate, and how can we check whether this percentage of discount is valid or not? So all these things are marketing gimmicks. Don't get trapped into it. You have to check the rates in the surrounding area. You have to compare apple to apple. You cannot compare two different things when they are having a very different layout, different size of project. So my request to the allottees is that whenever you see any advertisement or you are called for any launch, unless and until the RERA certificate, the RERA number is displayed, don't even give post-dated checks, because these are the traps, very cleverly led by the marketing agencies. For example, if you see now the rates that we see, even after giving huge potential to that particular land, which earlier had a lower potential, still the rates are increasing. Why is it so? Has anyone analyzed this? Earlier, a land used to have 0.8 or 1 as an FSI. But now, the FSI given to that particular land is beyond 1. So if that is increased, then why the rates are not reduced? On the contrary, the rates are increased. So I have a very good example for this. If you see, go in the 2015 or 16 somewhere, I think so, that was the time when Zomato was launched. And the Zomato preferred, I don't know precisely whether Zomato was first or Swiggy was first. I'm just taking these names for samples. So these aggregators, when they came into industry, if they would have come and told us that we will bring your food at your home from the restaurant which you want, and we will charge you 50 rupees or 100 rupees or whatsoever on the basis of the distance, would have we agreed to pay that 50, 40, 100, whatever they would have charged? Very upfrontly, I can tell you, out of 100, 90 would have rejected this offers, these services. So what they did cleverly, they went to the restaurants and they told them that you don't have customers, or without occupying your seat, we will give you the customers and we will not take benefit out of your pocket. How was that possible? That was possible because they increased the rate, and the only condition to the hotel owner, the restaurant owner, was that they should increase the rates in the menu cards that are kept in their hotel as well. So now what happened eventually? The person who was getting that service was definitely paying, unknowingly paying, and the aggregators were getting their profit. Nothing was snatched from the restaurant owner's profit, but the people who were going on their own with their own cost to the restaurant to eat their food, they were surprised to see the rate hike, and this is how the rate increased. Similarly is with the real estate industry. Promoter pays 4%, 5%, 7% to the so-called agencies. Does he pay from his pocket? No, he doesn't pay from his pocket. So if you are paying for this 7%, 5%, I am not against it. But are the services worth that 5%, 7%? Is that soul selling agency or that marketing agency or that channel partner protecting you from the trap? Is he telling you the truth? Is he telling you the fact? Is there any indemnity for your losses? That is the question. And here I would like to tell all the allottees, don't get trapped into the marketing calls. Be clever and choose wisely.